Hey, all you zealots and zerglings, it's time for game one between Dunamai, the blue zerg, and Spartan, the red Terran. This is their round-robin matchup in the 3 West Classic, and neither of these players has won a series yet. Both of them are desperate for a win. And frankly, I'd like to see them both win right now, but unfortunately that's not possible. Unless, of course, they stalemate, which I really have no rules set up for what happens in that scenario. I'll have to go maybe there's some secret way to interpret the rules that will make me figure out what happens if there's a tie. But hopefully that's not going to happen here. I haven't seen it yet. It's never happened to me. But right now we're going to get into the game. This is Xel'Naga Caverns, as always, for game one. And Spartan is going to be throwing down a supply depot right now. He's going to first supply depot down pretty much on time. And Dunamai is just getting out his first overlord. Not very exciting yet. Of course, right now Spartan does actually have a win in the tournament against Contrarian. He just did not win the series. So technically right now he sort of has the slight edge. I don't know if it's going to translate here, but like I said, I wish I could see them both win. Maybe we can get this to a game 3. I don't think there's been a lot of game 3s, have there? I don't think there's been a lot of game 3s. So maybe we can get this thing to go to an ace match, and I'd love to see that. And he's going to get his barracks down on, it looks like it's about 11, because I think he just started his next SCV. So 11 racks. I think Terrans might usually go 12, but I really don't know. I don't pay that much of attention when I'm watching Terran games, because I'm not a Terran. And we are going to get a scout here for Dunamai. He's not going to see anything all that helpful, just pretty standard play. But if he can keep that drone in there for a while and see what's going on, he's going to see, well, there's gas going down here. Maybe a bit early, but ooh, is that drone going to try to harass the SCV? No, he's just going to scout around. Oh, he's going to try to look, see if there's any hidden racks going on, but no such thing yet. So he's got to try to keep that thing in there as long as possible. Looks like Spartan is going to send an SCV out here just to kind of poke around and say, hey, you, get out of my base, get out of my face. So the worker micro battle begins, and they're rounding the first lap, and in the lead it is Dunamai, but Spartan is trying to catch up. Oh, and he's going to get a little poke in there, and Dunamai's going to be careful. He wants to keep that SCV around as long as possible so he can try to see what it is that Spartan's going to be doing, and maybe disrupting his... Oh, he's going to double up some Marines. I don't think he needs to queue up a second Marine, but it looks like we are getting spawning pool down here for Dunamai. I didn't see what that was. That looked like it was probably about a 14. Oh, if he's at 15 now, so 17? I'm not entirely sure when that was, and it looks like, oh no, the SCV got caught and he can't get out. Oh, that was no good. And it looks like the drone was trapped there, but he could get out. If you click him on the minerals, if you right click on the minerals, then the worker goes into float mode and he can just float through any units he wants. So maybe other workers. Can workers float through other workers? Yeah, I suppose workers can float through other workers. So he could have pulled himself out of there. And we got a second gas going down. That's pretty early gas. Are we going to be going for a tech build? Maybe some sort of early Banshees? I don't know. But we are getting an expansion out here for Dunamai. Pretty typical. There's no 2 racks coming, so I don't think he has to worry. And oh, we even see a bunker going down. So Spartan is going to be turtling up for a little bit. Oh, we got a Roach Warren going down here for Dunamai. What is he going to be doing with that? If he's going to go for some sort of Roach aggression, this might be a good time for it. Maybe, but we got a factory going down, so no, it's probably too late for any sort of roach pressure. By the time they got here, he could probably get a tank up, and 1 tank is probably enough to fend off early roach pressure, unless, you know, they're already in your base. But his door is pretty well sealed shut, so I don't think a roach pressure is going to work. And kind of a late orbital. He should have gotten that a lot sooner. And it's going to be loading up that bunker, just kind of keeping things secure, but it's going to allow Dunamai just to macro like there's no tomorrow without any worries whatsoever. So we aren't getting a real good fix on anyone's builds yet. I'm interested to see what Spartan's going to do with this factory play. It could be typical to go for, say, Hellions, but if you were really going to go for some sort of Hellion aggression, then he probably should have been building an add-on with this barracks so that he could use either a tech lab so he can go for a sort of a blue flame build, or a reactor so he could just get some, you know, just some fast Hellions out. He's going for tech lab, so we're probably going to see tanks, I'm guessing. I bet they're probably for defense, I'm not sure. And ooh, going for the 1-1-1 build. 1 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport, which is a very powerful and versatile build, and apparently gives people a lot of trouble. And I don't know why, because I usually don't see it. I usually see people that just just do crazy things, as far as I know. Oh, and that Overlord, that's a really dangerous place for that Overlord to be. If there's any scouts out here, this Overlord is dead. This one a little safer because he's up on the high ground, and I'm guessing this one is the same. He really's got to, yeah, he's really got to find a place for that Overlord. I'd say swing him around here so you can throw in a scout, or maybe too late, but swing him around back here. But it's probably a little too late to get the Overlord there, because oh no, we don't park the Overlord there. He's got to put that Overlord somewhere safe. I don't know if he needs these 3 Overlords in the middle of the map. A Zergling here and a Zergling here would be more than enough to cover the center of the map, and just an Overlord here in the center is pretty standard. Oh, he's getting early lair. Oh, but we are seeing Cloaked Banshees. Oh, he is going for some Banshee harass. And does Dunamai have an Evo chamber? Oh, of course he has an Evo chamber because he's getting +1 attack, but does he suspect it? He may not be able to get spores up in time if he's not expecting this attack. He's got a spine up just for some security, but he's not going to see these coming at all. Pretty good map here. Spartan could be using his resources a little bit more efficiently. Probably even could throw down a supply depot right now. I think he's getting pretty close to the cap, and he doesn't want to lose that. But Dunamai, well, he was doing some good things with his money. Not too bad yet on either player. Right at this point, I probably have like 3,000 minerals and like 10 gas and like 20 army, which is of course a bit of an exaggeration. Oh, but that first Banshee is done, and the cloak is nearing completion. And you really got to, yeah, you got to start moving that Banshee out now. You want to get that thing there as soon as possible because, oh no, there goes the spores. That could completely shut this down unless Spartan can find a good angle of attack. Which, these are not the best placement for these spores. The spawning pool is vulnerable. These drones are vulnerable. And these drones are vulnerable. So there are definitely some avenues where these Banshees could make a difference. So he's either going to have to reposition those spores or put some more down. But he's still not sure that this Banshee harass is coming. Which, if he'd taken an Overlord, swung it around here, he probably could see these Banshees when they moved out. And it looks like Spartan's just going to wait for Cloak to finish and to get a second Banshee up. I think he should have moved out sooner, start putting on some pressure. Maybe force Dunamai to commit a lot of resources to air defense, which could put him behind in other facets, because he's got a lot of roaches right now. And if we look at the units right now, it's 4 Marines and a Marauder versus 8 roaches. And I think the roaches are going to have the advantage, so he's got to do a lot of damage with these Banshees. And macroing up an army behind it too. Looks like he is building an expansion, building it out here in the open. Very ballsy of Spartan. Usually Terrans like to build it in their main, then usually turn it to an orbital, then lift it up and land it here. It makes it safe, and oh, we do have some Hydralisks coming out. Does he see this coming? He couldn't have. He doesn't have any eyes on this. There's no way he saw this coming, so either his spidey senses are tingling, or he's just expecting it. Here come the Banshees. The Hydralisks are not going to be out in time. Oh, he's going to break down the rush, try to take a third, and these Overlords might spot it. Oh no, I don't think the Overlords are going to spot it. And like I said, this area is vulnerable right now. And here come the Banshees. And it looks like they might do a lot of damage before Dunamai can do anything to respond. He is going to pull the drones out of there, but he still does not have anything shooting at these Banshees yet. And they're just going to move on. He's got no defense out. The Hydralisk den is done. He's got to get some Hydralisks started right now. Get some Hydralisks out, Dunamai. Get some Hydralisks out. Oh no, he's targeting down the Hydralisk den. Like I said, he's got nothing. Oh, and the Spore is just out of range. Yeah, he's got to pull in the Queens. He's got to force them to do something. And oh, and there goes the Cloak, but they are in range of the Spore colony, or Spore Crawler. Oh, and now he's getting his... I don't know if I don't know if he's done enough damage. And oh, but now we can't see him anymore. There's no detection over here. He's gotten the range out of the detection. You've got to get the Queens out of there. You got to move the Spore. You got to move the Spore down here. You've got to move the Spore or get an Overseer or something. Okay, good. He's moving the Spore. You got to bring your Queens back in there. Yeah, and he is making an Overseer, so I think he will be able to hold off this harass. And yeah, I think he's going to hold this off. And oh, he's going to lose both Banshees. Did he do enough damage, though? They both lost 500 resources. Dunamai probably lost a lot in workers. But that Banshee was expensive. Very expensive. And took him down a tech path that maybe he didn't want to go. So we're going to have to see if that did enough. I don't think it did. And Spartan really put a lot into that. Because now he's way behind in units right now. I liked what he was doing, but I think he could have controlled it better and got it out a little sooner. If he'd gotten it out before those spores were in place, he could have done a lot of damage. I think it's really hard to tell, but I think he could have done more damage if he'd pushed out sooner. But now he's way behind. He's definitely got to start macroing an army up quickly before Dunamai gets way ahead of him. We check the income tab. Dunamai does have a pretty sizable worker lead. The mules can help balance that out, and right on cue there comes a mule, but he's going to have to catch up with this. But he doesn't have an orbital here. He's too busy making SCVs right now. And oh, Dunamai is supply capped. Oh, and he's making 5 overlords, which could give Spartan time to catch up, but he's not making any supply depots either, so he's going to be supply blocked here in a second himself. Oh, now he's making 8 overlords, but that's going to really, that might be a bit of an overcommitment, because now he's kind of going to run low on larvae, so once the overlords pop, he won't be able to make anything. And it looks like we are getting another spore up. I guess he realizes there's a bit of a hole in his defense, but Spartan is smartly not committing to any more Banshees, which I think is the right decision. And maybe he wants to switch these 2 off. I don't think going Hellion is good. I don't know if he spotted what Dunamai was doing, but with Roaches, Hellions are not a good choice. And you go, good. He's going to swap these out. Exactly what I think he needs to do. Start getting out some tanks and start getting out double medevacs if you can, and I think that is exactly what he needs to do, but he's still 30 food behind. A little worried. And definitely, if he's going to go Hydros, you've got to get those tanks out. You've got to start getting those tanks out. He's not getting any tanks out yet. He can afford the tanks, definitely. He can definitely afford the tanks. He's got to get the tanks out, and oh, there's a lot of roaches moving out here. But this SCV's sitting here, and it's going to let him know that what's going on now. Oh, he's getting +2 attack just started. He's getting Burrow, and he's getting the range upgrade for his Hydra. So this is his army. Dunamai, Spartan has got to go tanks. That is exactly what he needs right now, and Dunamai needs to be taking a 3rd base. Oh, and he does have some Hellion harass here. I missed that. I don't know if it did any damage. It looks like it did not. It does not look like he did any damage with that attack. But it will give him a little bit of scouting information, and Dunamai's bringing his whole army back, which I think is way bit of an overkill right now, and it's going to give Spartan some time to get up some defenses, and he's got to start getting that siege mode. No, Spartan, don't give up yet. You're not done yet. Oh, come on, Spartan, you're not done yet. If you get that siege mode out, you can hold off his army. Don't throw in the towel. I hope he's not just trying to bait him. So now we're just going to have a battle to see who's worse. But I think if he can get his siege mode out and get some tanks out, I think he will have a chance. But here comes the army now. I'm not sure if it was good to encourage his opponent to come attack him. And then he's just going to drop out. So game 1 is going to go to Dunamai. So we're going to have to go into game 2. I hope you enjoyed game 1 and have a day.